What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking me out. What's good with you? I hope it's all good. My name's GB. Welcome back to Slain by Force, video series where we get to know this machine that is the Force. We're going to pick up right where we left off last time. And if you were with me last time, we were talking about the GUI. We're talking about the hardware. This time we're talking about the GUI. If you missed that video talking about the hardware, check it out here, there, one of the links, you know what I mean? But check it out, it's the first video. This is the second in this series. I don't know how many there will be in this series, but we're gonna go deep. I can guarantee you that. So, we're gonna pick up right where we left off last time. Again, Slain by Force, getting to know this machine that is the Force. But before we do, we're gonna start off with a little bit of a workout. Some laps, if you will. Just like that. Nailed it. Alright, if you want to follow along, just put your force in the piano mode, the piano keypad, if you will, and just follow along. I don't know how you use your force or the finger positions that you use, but for me, I like to put, if you will, my pinky on the pinks. And that is the C key. So if you put your pinky on the C keys, I like to use the other fingers on the interior, so I can go, and that's the whole keypad. So if you try that, and I'm not very strong with my pinky, so I often just go back with my ring finger, but that's my finger position for this exercise. Let's do it again. Daily goals, baby. That's all it's about. Daily goals. So, if you come hang out with me, we're going to be hitting the daily goal every time. Let's do it again, though. That again. Let's do it again. That just goes to show you it's real time. suppose if my pinky was stronger, I should be practicing with it, right? Oh man. All right, we got that one. Let's go next one. Speed it up. We're gonna do it again. Let's do it again. Yeah, on fire, baby, on fire. Next. All right, let's combine and perform. All right. We did that. Now let's get to the workout. Again, last time we were talking about the hardware. We did an overview of the We did an overview of the hardware a little bit. We an overview of the software and the hardware, if you will. But this time we're going to go in more in depth to the GUI or the software.
All right, everybody. So the first thing we want to do is actually go in and do a little bit of housekeeping. What I mean by that is I want to do a little bit of an overview on the software and the hardware.
And again, this is going to be a little bit of a refresher for those of you who were with me for the last workout, the first workout, talking about the hardware. So that's just so that we can kind of keep this stuff fresh in mind as we proceed through these workouts.
Of machine first, so we get some of the concepts down. We know some of the areas that we're talking about here, and some of the terminology that we're going to be using going forward here. So first thing we're going to look at in the software is your GUI. This is the graphical user interface. That's basically what is known as the look of it. This is what you see.
The graphical user interface. This is what you see. If I start with a fresh project, and I just did that, so we ain't going to do that. You know what it is when you start with a fresh project. That is the initial graphical user interface. But after you open an empty project, this is the graphical user interface. This is the matrix. After, again, we went through some of these hardware controls yesterday: play, stop, record, undo, redo, load, save, all that stuff. Well, this is the clip. This is the clip matrix screen. And so you create a clip, but then you can go to the matrix screen to launch that clip. And you can select clips on the screen like such. Or you can push the launch button and select clips down below. But it is the same clip that you select down below that will be shown up above. The clip that you select down below will be shown up above. So, let's continue.
When you're looking at the software, it's the GUI. Here is called your arranger. So the arranger is basically where the song happens. And an arranger is broken down over a timeline. At the top here is the header. You can see the time here as if we would play through. Let's just hit play. And you can see the time going back and forth. Here is called your arranger. So the
arranger is available when you can see the arranger when you open up your clip. And actually, that's not the arranger view. This is the clip view. So if you want to see the arranger, you have to click the arranger tab. And in the arranger tab, you can see.
Arranger is basically where the song happens. And an arranger is broken down over a timeline. At the top here is the header. You can see the time here as if we would play through. Let's just hit play. And you can see the time going back and forth. So you're always going to be able to see your BPM, the swing amount. If I adjust the swing on the controller, you can see it automatically adjust.
Again, in order to see the swing on the force, you push the time correction button over there, and you can see the swing down there.
Same thing with tempo. This is, you can see all the information like tempo, global swing, your time signature. So you can see, and this is your CPU, where you can see if things are getting pretty crazy and you're really taxing your system by using a lot of instruments and effects. You're going to see this thing getting higher and higher until it goes in the red, and then it tells you,
CPU.
Hey, now you're hurting me here. So then you got to pull back a little. Down below that is the pattern editor. This is where the magic happens, I might say.
Again, this is the clip matrix or the pattern editor. In order to see a pattern, you have to push the clip button, and then you still can't see. You have to make sure you are in the clip screen, otherwise you're in the arranger screen. So within the screen, you can see what's happening within the pattern.
This is where all of your patterns are created. Everything is sequenced right here in this area.
Right in here.
But basically, this is where you're going to build your songs. So your different groups, you can keep adding multiple groups in here, and then your scene is going to be your different scenes are going to be your song. So maybe your.
So again, you can add multiple tracks because the Force doesn't have groups, but the Force has tracks, and so as you add multiple tracks, the tracks become a pattern, creates a scene, and a scene creates a, yeah, that's what it is.
Different groups, you can keep adding multiple groups in here, and then your scene is going to be your different scenes are going to be your song. So maybe your scene.
So again, the Force doesn't have groups, the Force has tracks, and you can have up to 8 tracks, and I believe you can have up to 8 audio tracks and 8 instrument tracks. And then within each track you can have different patterns, and as you create patterns, those patterns create scenes, and that's where you launch over here.
One's going to be your intro, and then a verse, and then a chorus, so on. Down here is your automation lane and your velocities and everything like this, so your modulation area basically.
Awesome.
Any changes over time you do, you're going to see them happen here. We'll explain this further as we go. Moving in the middle here is your control area. Parameters are mapped out already, and I can see them, and I can start turning them on the hardware right away. It's great. And you can visually see them here in the software. And then one other thing I want to do is jump over to this section, which is the mix view. So we come over here and we can actually see all of our groups arranged by sound. If I double click here, we can just see the groups all together. If I double click again, we can get in to see the individual sounds within.
And so obviously when you click the mixer button, you are controlling the sound at the group level. And so we can use the knobs, the control knobs, to turn up and down the volume. And this is our workout track here, using it to control the volume of the control group. But if I want to control an individual sound within that group, I have to push shift and mixer, and that brings up the sub mixer group, and from there we control the individual volume of individual sounds. And we do that from the screen at this time. I'll show you how to control it from the knobs later, but at this time we're just going to do it from the screen. So again, you push mixer to control the group volume. Push shift and mixer for the sub mixer volume, and you can control the secondary mixer volume, if you will. Get it?
If we come down here, we can see our I/O, our inputs and outputs, our settings for whatever inputs we're coming in from an external source, or MIDI inputs, this kind of stuff. We can add plugins right from here, all this good stuff. Our level, our auxiliaries. Again, we'll explain this all. And then down here, we don't see anything yet, because once you start loading in your different instruments and effects, anything inside a machine, you're going to see a nice handy little view here, and we can get into more detail and see what's all happening. So on the main, it's really just a 4 main area.
And so again, you can see again the different view of the different clips or tracks that we're using. Depends, you push select and you can pick which track that you want to use. And again, you can have a view of the pattern of what's happening there. That's our instrument. This is our drum track. You know what I mean?
It is your browser section, arranger, control area, pattern area, and I guess the modulation area too. So let's.
So again, at this point, we've talked a little bit about the control area. We've talked a little bit more about the GUI today. Next, we'll be talking a little bit about the browser. Thanks for checking me out. If you found anything in this video helpful, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. We'll get more in depth in the next one.